Yo, and welcome to Ticking Off the Noodle List, where we tick off things I've always wanted to do. Today's noodle is my room tour. Now, I've always wanted to do a room tour, but I've always been too nervous. But now my room has reached a point where I'm really happy with it, so I thought, now's probably the best time. Also, I really like going back and looking at old things and documenting things, so I'm really excited to do it. Another reason why I'm doing my room tour today is because I'm using a brand new editing program and I wanted a simple, easy video to just ease myself into it. So I guess we're ticking off a second noodle today, which is my editing program. You might be wondering, what is this noodle thing I'm talking about? Well, it's a brand new thing that I want to do where I tick off all these things off of my bucket list that I've always wanted to do. It could be a video I've always wanted to make, and this room tour is the first thing. I'm really happy with how my room is. I really hope you enjoy it. Let's get into this room tour and see what you think.
Alrighty, so the very first and foremost detail about my whole room is that I like things to be neat, tidy, and organized, and clean and all that kind of stuff. So as we go through my room, you're going to see and understand how I like to keep my setup and how I like to keep everything in specific places, specific whatnot. That's just the kind of person I am. Let's start with the most probably eye-catching thing, and that's my whole PC setup. Alright, so I'm rocking a triple monitor setup right now. I used to only have two, but I had to get the third one, and the third one obviously is up there. Let's start with the specs of the monitors. Okay, so my main monitor, where I do gaming or whatever, I believe it's like 32 inches. I can't remember, it's been a long time, but it's a 2K screen, 144 hertz refresh rate, all that good stuff. It's curved, you can probably tell that it's a little curved. And then later on, I got two more monitors. They're all MSI monitors, and the only reason I'm telling you that is because it's got the thin bezels, and I really like having thin bezels because then they kind of just disappear and bleed into another, which I think is great, and having the whole same brand. These are only 1080 each, but you don't need anything more than 1080. All I do is either have like Discord up the top, Steam down the bottom, or Google, so I can watch videos or whatever while I'm playing games. Actually, the most useful these three screens have been is for uni work. Here I can have my Word document, Photoshop, whatever I'm using for uni. Here I can have the project outline and then some reference photos up here, or if I'm animating, I can have an animation going here with the timeline over here. Animations for uni, don't go looking for any of my animations, they don't exist, unless one day they do, don't quote me on that. The point is, I could never go back to having two monitors. This is just awesome, it's amazing. Okay, let's get to the PC itself. Alright, I fully upgraded my PC pretty recently. I couldn't tell you all the specs, but I think the one thing most people care about is the graphics card. It's a 3080 Ti. I paid a little bit more than I should have, but I don't regret it. It's got What's Your Game on there, which is the certification that I am a true god tier gamer. I got all these RGB fans, which came with it. I chose this case specifically because it has all the RGB and it's beautiful. It's got this crazy looking grill effect on the front. It's a bit hard to see, but as I turn the camera, oh, there you can see it. And I just think that looks really cool. I like that a lot. Here, some of my peripherals. I got the Go XLR. Very popular little device. I love this thing. Like, you may have heard people say online that, you know, it's like the best thing ever, and it is pretty good. It's worth it. I can just press the mute button, and that goes right back up. Press it mute again. This is for my microphone. This is for Google. This one's for Discord, and that's every other PC sound. I've got my sound effects, which I never use ever. They're just there for fun. Keyboard, I don't care what keyboard it is. It's a Cougar. You're welcome. And I have a wireless mouse. I love wireless stuff, which may be confused why there's this cable over here, and I'll explain that in a second. But yes, I got a wireless mouse, Steel Series, very great, love it a lot. Speaking of wireless stuff, this right here is an 8-bit do little wireless controllers for my controllers to connect. There's my PlayStation 1, it's charging at the moment, but that connects to my PlayStation controller, just like that. What else? We have a CD drive. It's a Blu-ray drive, so I can play my Blu-rays, which I can show you in a second. Here's a picture of my wonderful cat Monty. He's such a sweetheart, I love him very much. My microphone, as you can see, has been drilled into my desk with a hole, which is just fantastic. I can come right out. And my microphone has this cable that I mentioned before. It is a very short cable, and if there is one thing, just one thing to upgrade the whole PC, it's getting a longer cable that I can route through the bottom there, underneath, which I'm going to show you in a sec. Get underneath, back behind the PC, up and down the thing, into the microphone. That's the only little piece of gear that I would say is a necessity, because having that basically over my mouse all the time as it moves back and forth is very, very frustrating. Anyway, that I think is just about everything with the PC. Obviously the placemat and the speakers. I can't remember what speakers they are. They're the RGB ones, but they are pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it, and it has a sub down there, which is always great. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the PC. Okay, so controllers. I've got my Xbox controller here. It usually doesn't sit here, but that's just where it's sitting right now. It cannot connect wirelessly. It's one of those old ones which needs a battery pack, so I only ever use it plugged in, and I only ever use it for fighting games. Under here, we got my PlayStation controller, just the PS4, and a Switch one. They're both just charging under there, and they're just chilling. Over here, I've got my base PS4. Oh, that's a bit dusty. Ew. Got my base PS4. I got my Switch with some, what are they called? Nixie controllers. These controllers are awesome. They are really, really good. If you're looking for like split pro controllers, I can confirm these are quite comfortable. They are third party, so there's always that risk involved that they may not be exactly what you want, but mine work perfectly fine. They have rumble, you can play them wirelessly, and they got the cool LEDs, so what more can you want? Over here, probably wondering what this book is. This is actually my journal or diary, and a lot of people think, oh, a diary. Yeah, like I said before, and the reason why I'm doing this video is because I like documenting stuff, and I've got about a year and a half's worth of stories about my life that I've done in that journal, and yeah, I couldn't imagine not having that. I think that is every oh no, one more thing. I said I liked wireless stuff. There's this little box here. This is for wireless headphones, and you're probably wondering, where are the headphones? And there is no secret, they're just not here. They're in a drawer. And the reason why they're in a drawer and not here is because I just prefer listening through the speakers. I don't really like wearing headphones for a long amount of time, and the speakers work perfectly fine. I don't really want to put headphones on all the time. But yes, they are wireless, and they are fantastic for the times that you need them, but I just prefer not to use them. Now, at the back, you have this classic foam wall stuff that you see everybody do. This was a pain to put against the wall. If you're thinking about doing something like this, or if you have done something like this, you probably know what I'm talking about. These panels are only staying up because they hit the floor, and their friction and is the only thing that's really holding them up. They are stuck to the wall, but there was a period of time where they would just keep falling down and not staying up until everything kind of connected. Here is the back of my PC, if you're wondering. I'm not beyond that, all the cables are all there. But if you notice at the front, you can barely see any cables anywhere, except for the obvious one, and don't look at that one going down the bottom there. That's just connected to the switch, that's not important. The point is, I'm trying to be as cables free as I can. And it can be difficult because this desk is a custom-made L-shaped desk, and it is fixed against the wall, which means I can't have cables draping from behind. They have to go into holes here, here, and here. So it's been a bit of a struggle. But yes, as you go to the back, you can see that's what I've sort of done with all my cables, wrapped them around there. And the back here is obviously very dusty. Unfortunately, all the cables go down there. And, oh yeah, my webcam. I always forget about my webcam. I don't stream very much anymore. It's just an old Logitech webcam, 1080p. It is nothing special. Like, it's just a webcam that works. Okay, that's the PC. That's pretty much all you would need to know about the PC. Yeah, let's move next to the PC. Oh, pardon me. Okay, mints, deodorant. That's my ticket for Spider-Man No Way Home. I hope that doesn't have any important information on there. If it does, I'll blur it out in editing. And this is just my RGB remote. I have RGBs up there, and I have RGBs back there by the piano, which I will show you in a second. And the receiver for this is actually underneath the desk, so you can't see him. Press it again, and they're back on. Yeah, kept it under there to keep it concealed. I will show you what's underneath the desk, by the way, if you are wondering, because I'm actually most impressed with what's going on under there. Behind here is my record player. Now, there's not a record playing at the moment, obviously, but this record player is amazing. I'm obviously a musician, and this is something that I've just wanted to have for a while now. I've had it for about 1.5 years. And I use it quite frequently. If you want to know more about records, you should definitely look them up. In fact, I might put a little segment. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to insert a segment right here, going to cut to it, about records, and then we're going to cut back to this. Alright, let's quickly talk about the record player. Now, let me just pick it up. For this example, I'm going to be showing you. Hang on to your hat. Now, I'm filming this after I film the room tour, but I will get to this one, you'll see it later, but this is what it looks like. Ooh, very shiny. Ooh, that's very nice. And what this one is, as again, I'll explain later, it is Super Mario 64, but in big band style. Now, records, let me put this down again. Now, records are big, thin discs of plastic with grooves in them. Now they can be a whole variety of different colors. And this one happens to be a nice gold color. Now, one thing very important with records, and you're probably wondering why I'm jiggling it with my fingers. I'm spinning it around just so you can see the front better. But records, you can never, ever, ever touch the front side of the records, ever. I'm holding it around the edges only, and I can touch the label. So I can hold it like this, but you can never ever touch the actual grooves on the record. Very, very important. You can see on those grooves, you can see how there are those little lines there. You can see it really well there. You can see those 3 different sections, 1, 2, 3. Those are the 3 different songs on this side of the record. Those lines right there, they're in between the songs. Let's put this record on and have a listen to it, shall we? So it just goes on just like that. Push. Alright, it's on the turntable. Excellent. Let's turn it on. Okay, let's go through how this works. Right here we've got a start and stop button. Start. Stop. This record needs to go a little bit faster. Just this record, just because it does. So instead of 33, we're going to go 45. Now it spins a little bit faster. That's just how this record needs to be played. All records are different, but it's usually 33. Anyway, I'm just going to turn the speakers on, which are just above you, which you will see in a second. Over here, got a little protective casing. Alright, here's the fun part. Let's lift it up. Now I've just raised the tone arm, which is this. I'm going to unclip it. Now right now, this tone arm is hovering above. So I can move this over, and I'm glossing over it. It's a bit nervous. I don't really want to do it because if it does drop for whatever reason, I'm going to start scratching the record. And again, that's very, very bad. So I'm not going to do that, but it's hovering over the top. I'm going to place it right at the start, hit play, and we're going to just lower the tone arm. And it starts. So that's how a record player works. Speakers up there, giving us a nice sound. And the record, it do be spinning though. Alright, let me turn the speakers down a little bit. Now, as good as that sounds, let's take a closer look at this record and see what's going on. Okay, first of all, I'm going to show you my favorite little detail. This light creates an optical illusion on the turntable. Can you see how it looks like just one dot? And you see the other ones are moving at different speeds. It looks a lot better when the whole room is darker and you haven't got this really bright. But that is one of my favorite little details, and I just love that. The sound from records literally just come from grooves in plastic. That's all it is. And it's just so incredible. I just don't get it. Anyway, that is how records work. And I think that's pretty cool. You're welcome. Let's continue on with the room tour. Alright, we're back. Welcome. Oh, that was awesome. Wow, records. Fantastic. Okay, let's follow this cable up to the speakers. Okay, now these speakers, again, are just really nice. I've got one speaker here on this shelf. Just gonna step back. Another speaker right there. It's all closed in, very nice. And in between those two speakers, for the record player, the speakers only connect to the record player, I have my little games collection. Now, a while ago, I wanted to collect every game there was. I wanted a full-on games collection, but now I've collected enough and I'm really content with the amount that I have, and I don't really want any more. Like, I don't really want to have like a full collection of Wii U games. No, I don't want that. I just want my collection and games that I think are substantial. So let's go through these games now, shall we? First, on the end, we have this little Cordelia. Now, this was a little card that was from Fire Emblem Warriors Collector's Edition that my friend Evan actually gave to me. So I didn't get the Collector's Edition, but I do like Cordelia. Now, these are really, really cool. You may not recognize them, but they are capsules for 3DS games. Look at that. How cool. All my Pokemon games are in there that I played as a kid. I got 2 of them. They are awesome. They're very cool. And if you're wondering where I got them, like, I really want that. I got them as pre-order bonuses for Pokemon X and Y when those 2 came out. So, good luck finding those if you want them. They only hold 3 games. They're not really terribly practical, but they are cool. Alright, I got my 2 Zeldas, Ocarina and Majora's Mask from Japan. Nice boxed. They look very good. If you saw my Japan vlogs, you would have seen that I got these and a couple of other games. These are my Wii games from when I was a kid. Now, I take really good care of my stuff. I mean, I've said before that I like things organized and clean. I take really good care of my stuff. Like, let's take a look at my copy of Super Mario Galaxy 2, for example. This is, well, I think really, really good condition. I've even got the manual, which again, is in a great condition. This one came with a little other DVD, I don't know, but I'm really happy that, I took good care of my stuff because I think it looks amazing. Alright, Wii U. I love my Wii U. The Wii U was the only console I had for a long time until I got the PlayStation 4, but even then I still played the Wii U. These are most of my games for it. Moving on to the Switch. Bunch of Switch games. Probably too many Switch games, let's be honest. Too many Switch games. These 2 are Evan's, that's why they're up there, so remember that they're his. Alright, 3DS games. Now, when I started collecting, 3DS was the console I just bought so many games for, because there's a lot of good 3DS stuff that you just can't get anymore. But a lot of the stuff I did have before that. These old DS games are all from my childhood, except for Simpsons game that I bought from somewhere else. But all of these are from my childhood that I still kept the cartridges for. Not cartridges, cases. These four, this Zelda and this Pokemon, they're from Japan. They look fantastic. And we get to the PlayStation section. I mentioned that these two are Evans. This Final Fantasy VII Remake is also Evans, but I keep it there because I can. I got my PlayStation 2 games up there, which I just can't figure out a way to fit it all in. Like, it is packed in this, and I've really done the math with this. I have torn this apart and put it back together so many times, and I still don't know where to put the PlayStation 2 games. If you're wondering, like, maybe I just take some stuff out, I actually have. So these games, I can't push them back, even though there's space behind them. Why? Because there's more games back there that I've actually stacked up, so they all come at the perfect angle. Please go back in. Oh, thank goodness. So back here are just heaps. You can't quite see there. There you go. There's just heaps and heaps of games back there. There's a bunch of Switch games back there, I think. Not quite sure. But they're all... can't push them back. So I've really kept it as flush as I can. And I'm quite happy with it. Like, there aren't really that many games that I want to collect anymore. There's a couple Switch games still coming out, but there's nothing I really want to collect. But that you can sort of see is the stuff that I've decided to put at the front, with plenty of other stuff, you know, a bunch of Wii shovelware that I had as a kid. Bunch of Wii shovelware way at the back, keeping everything flush. Okay, let's move on from the games. Let's move onto this shelf. Now this shelf has my Blu-rays, my 4Ks, and my manga. Now you're welcome to shame me, silently shame me as much as you want about my choices in anime, but don't dog people for enjoying what they want to enjoy. Over here is the anime. My anime collection. I like fun, rompy, just silly, stupid, good time anime. I have a serval just sitting there. It's so cute. She's a ramen topper. She's meant to sit on top of your ramen. At least that's what they're supposed to do. What do we got? Over here we have Xenoblade Chronicles 2 soundtrack. The Overwatch for PC that I got back in 2016. Whoa. And that back there is actually Doctor Who Season 4 on DVD. And I love Doctor Who, but I never really watched the DVD for it. If you're wondering, that one with the sexy woman, I'm not going to just gloss over it and ignore it. That was... I have no idea what it is. It was on sale when I bought it, and I was like, you know what? Let's just get it. I have no idea what it is, and I have not watched it. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I enjoy. My 4K selection is pretty small at the moment, but honestly, there's not really a whole lot that I specifically want for 4K. Like, a lot of it just works without it. There's no point in getting anything made by Disney. One, because Disney doesn't really put a lot of effort into their 4K releases, but two, it's all on Disney Plus, which I have. That's kind of pointless. I have got a lot of Spider-Man films. I love Spider-Man, and they're not on Disney Plus. Honestly, I am a defender of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 and the Amazing Spider-Man films. I think they're fantastic. I really do. I have Advent Children because they remastered that. Square Enix remastered that for 4K, which surprises me. And I got The Dark Knight and Spider-Verse, of course. I think The Dark Knight would look really good in 4K. And Spider-Verse, obviously, is like a showcase for how good 4K is. Alright, onto my manga. The Automata books, the Danganronpa books. I'm missing the first issue. I've placed a 3DS game in there for when the first issue comes. Take a guess. You know what? Take a guess. Take a guess at what you think that 3DS game is. Just have a think. Look, they're the ones that are there. It's not going to be some high-profile game, because otherwise I would put it over there. Just think, what could it possibly be in your mind? Let's have a look. What is it? It is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Bam. There's no significance. I got that game for free when I got my 3DS, and guess what? I never played it. Dirty Pair, good old Dirty Pair. Nagatoro, Komi, Can't Communicate. Bunch of Zelda Twilight Princess. I really like Twilight Princess a lot. Then we got one issue of Persona 5. Quintessential Quintuplets, which I got the DVD for over there. The Splatoon manga, not really the biggest fan. It didn't grab me. It just wasn't my thing. I got the first issue because, you know, like, oh, it's like Splatoon as a manga. And it just never really amounted to much more than that. Izaki-chan, We Never Learn. We Never Learn is probably my favorite. It's just funny. It's just good fun. Yoko Girls. Good old Yoko Girls. I've never read this manga all the way to the end. I got this years ago before I had any other manga. And I was like, Evan, buy me this manga. And he's like, you don't even know what this manga is. And I'm like, I know. Just buy me it anyway. And he did. What a nice man. Devil is a Part-Timer. These are light novels. That's right. They're full of words. No pictures. Oh, that's a lie. There are a couple of pictures. But they're novels. They're novels. And the good old Zelda ones. Here I've got the Origami for Origami King. Which again was most generously donated by Evan. Evan gives me a lot of stuff. What a nice man. This is the old Mario Maker like example booklet, which has examples in it. And that's just some Final Fantasy VII little stuff. Along this shelf is probably going to be more manga and DVDs as I start pushing it out further. But we have Metroid Dread. Amiibos, really love Metroid Dread. This is Labyrinth. Come on, camera. This is Labyrinth. Wonderful film. This is a gift for my mum because she loves Labyrinth, and we're yet to watch it because the plastic's still on. Now this little star has a story behind it. Oh, I just dropped a bookmark. This little star was when I did a small little Mario Kart tournament. Nothing major, just with a couple of friends. And, well, I won. And you can switch it on. And the music stops after that. But the light stays on. And you know what? Let's leave it on. Hopefully I forget to remember to turn that off. Bunch of bookmarks just for books. You also probably notice these bookmarks tell me where I'm up to in the manga because it gets very confusing. There's the other one. Look, Nintendo Land. Very special Nintendo Land. That's just another spare game that can't fit with the other Wii U games. But there's no way to fit it behind at the moment. So I'm already getting that small bit of overflow. Here's another Miku. Another Miku. Actually, it's the only Miku. What am I talking about? She's also a ramen stopper. I think that's what I was going to say. She's also another ramen stopper. Light serval over there. So they sit at both ends of that shelf. Alright, let's pan the camera down. Okay, along with my main PC, I got my Mac. I've had my Mac for years and years. This PC I haven't had as long. Again, I upgraded it about 6 months ago, but I still haven't had a PC for as long as I've had a Mac. Now, this Mac is where I do all my editing, all my music, and it's very, very useful. But I don't do as much on it anymore. Most of it's on here. And in fact, as I said at the beginning of the tour, I'm planning on doing my editing on this computer this time with a different program. Purely because the channel that I edit for needs videos, and they're fine with me using this computer, but I would rather use this computer for it. It'd just be a lot easier. Okay, so this is that. Very, very nice. Let's look around it. There's the game consoles, which are plugged into that computer. I didn't mention that. Here's just a question mark mug, just with pens and USBs. Thingamajig. Little penguin. That was a gift from a friend that I still keep it there because I love it. There's really not much. Let's put that bookmark back up there. There's really not much to say. There's the lens cap for the camera. Actually, no, I am just going to leave it right there because I will forget it's in my pocket. My wireless headphones, just for everyday use. That's my phone. That's a guitar pick. There's always guitar picks everywhere. And this is a little, what is it, dehumidifier? No. Whatever it is. it smells nice. It smells beautiful, and it has LEDs. And you know how much I like my LEDs. And there's my 4 flavors of lovely smells. What am I missing? Oh, I'm missing the coolest part of this. I gotta just move this chair out of the way. Out of the way. I forgot the most coolest part about this entire thing. I said I did my music on this. How do I do my music? With my keyboard. So my keyboard can just come out here just like a normal computer keyboard tray, and whenever I don't need it, I just push it back in. It has my headphones here, just underneath. Here's the thing that plugs, you know, the keyboard, and the headphones come out and the keyboard goes into the computer. And just underneath here is my line in if I want to directly connect my guitar to it. It works really well. Under there's my old monitor. I have nowhere to put it, and so far nobody has wanted to buy it off me, so it just sits under there. I've not kicked it yet. Let's think, what else is that? Oh, okay. Let's talk about this. This is my little pen from just my Wacom tablet, which sits down there. Just along that wall. Get out of the way, stupid strap. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's everything with these 2 computers now. Let's move on to... Oh, let's mention this. This is like one of those slider things that you put your camera on and you can slide it back and forth. I don't use it too much, but that's where it is. I think that's my old gaming laptop when I was a lot younger. That's pretty much it. Alright, puzzles. Nintendo Labo up there. Just the boxes and just a bunch of puzzles because I like puzzles. This is a pretty recent addition to my room. I don't really like displaying Lego that much. Not anymore anyway. But with the lighting kit, I think it looks just fantastic and well worth it. My favorite light is definitely the one that signifies the amp is on. And I'm waiting for it to focus again. Let's zoom out. Sure, why not? Yeah, that little red light right in the middle, that signifies the amp is on. Yeah, I'm going to zoom in, even if it goes blurry. Yeah, oh there you go, that red light. I think that just looks great. I think it looks awesome. Right next to it, I actually have a set that I'm going to put there. I've got the NES, the Nintendo NES, and I have to buy a lighting kit for that as well. But that would be really nice to go there. Just below it, ooh, a lot darker, is just my collector's edition stuff. Because I don't really know where else to put it unless it has a dedicated spot. So let's have a look and see what we've got here. We've got a whole bunch of Shantae stuff, too much Shantae stuff, I'll be honest. Some Shantae steelbooks, which are great. Xenoblade Chronicles, Collector's Edition, Link's Awakening, AI the Somnium Files, Hyrule Warriors Legends. Funny this, I bought this, I bought Hyrule Warriors Legends digitally on my 3DS. But Hyrule Warriors Legends, I thought I want to get it physically, so I went to the store to buy it physically, and it was cheaper. It was cheaper to get the collector's edition than buy it separately. So I bought the collector's edition. Like, okay, Samurai Kagura Peachy Beachy Peach Bowl, good old Peach Bowl, and Fate Extella Link. So still room for more to fit at the front. Yeah. Going down here, there's not that much interesting things. There's a couple things. This is just a drawer full of electronics. Let's have a look. Let's have a look-see. This is my old microphone. Just a Blue Yeti, I think that's what they're called. Haven't used it in years, ever since I upgraded to that. My camera's doing a horrible job focusing. These are my wireless headphones. They're SteelSeries. That's what they are. SteelSeries. They're good fun. I think, in my opinion, the SteelSeries is the best wireless headphones, if you're thinking about that. They're just old headphones. There's more headphones in here. There's another set of headphones you can't really see. There's other stuff that I've used, specifically underneath the desk. Little adhesive stuff, which I'm still looking forward to showing you. Nothing else in there. This one has other miscellaneous technology things. There's a USB cable, not USB cable, a HDMI cable. There's a pop filter for the microphone, an old iPad. Now this pop filter that I've got on this one, I just bought somewhere else, so that this doesn't come with a microphone, just a little something. Back here, in this one, it's more music stuff. Like here's an old music lead. That thing on top, yes, it's a booby mouse pad, good old booby mouse pad. Because guess what? I don't use that anymore. Miku. I think this is my old school laptop, which I don't use ever. This drawer with the Monado sticking out of it is just all my other gaming stuff. Controllers, other little peripherals, things, cables, my old case, my new case, because those Nixie controllers on the Switch don't fit in that case, obviously, so I had to get a new one. That's my 3DS. Oh my god, it's my 3DS. I'm taking that out. Yeah, it's my old case. You've probably seen that case before. It's a very popular case. That's my 3DS case. That's cool. Alright, the bottom shelf, though, is probably the coolest shelf. This is where my records are. Those are my collectors, card collecting books, Fire Emblem, Kimono Friends, and anything other that's Japanese, and Animal Crossing amiibo cards. Alright, let's talk about my records. Okay, so I had the record segment before, but I'll talk about what records I have now. I have a lot of it's pretty much all exclusively video game stuff. You can see I've got Guardians of the Galaxy right there. Come on, I'm going to zoom in, and this camera is going to obey me and focus. There we go. Guardians of the Galaxy, Banana Jams, that's Donkey Kong Country. Hang On To Your Hat, that's a good one. This one is Mario 64 in big band jazz style. Very, very good. Shovel Knight, Shantae, let me zoom out a bit now. Shantae original, so it's all Game Boy stuff. Shantae Risky's Revenge. I've got Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I got Pixar's Soul, because jazz is good. Marvel Spider-Man. This Star Wars from all 9 films. This one's really special. This one is a straight up video game rip of Super Mario 64 on vinyl. Unofficial, if you can believe that or not. So it's not something that you can find very easily. So I was very happy when I came across that for a reasonable price. This is Mario and Chill. It's just like chill Mario music, which again is one of my favorites. This camera is just refusing to cooperate. After that is actually a lot of Zelda stuff. I'm waiting for this goddamn camera to work. It's because I'm moving it a lot. It's just because I'm moving it around a lot. Alright. So there is a lot of Zelda stuff over here. Bam. Okay. Sins of Hyrule. And Ballads of Hyrule. Hero of Time. Time's End. And the last one, probably my favorite one that I own, is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. This one is an official vinyl made by Nintendo and was only in the European version of the collector's edition over here. So I had to buy it and have it imported over, just the vinyl. So that's a pretty rare one, but I'm pretty happy to have that. And the other vinyls I have, more vinyls. Over here, you may not even notice this. It's Harry Potter. From the 1st to 5th film, whole bunch of just a thick box of vinyls. Oh, vinyls sound incredible. They're just some cloths to clean the vinyls. Yeah. Cool, that's all the vinyls I have. Let's move over to this side of everything. Okay. So this is the side of my room that you probably see during my streams, but it's probably the side of my room that I don't really show off at all. Because this, of course, I want people to see this. See the games, see the PC, if I ever take pictures of my room. This is the side I don't really show off. So let's go through it, shall we? Over here is my guitar and my amp. My guitar is a Jackson guitar. I know nothing other than that, and it has a purple body, and it looks very cool, and it's so fun to play. I've only been playing guitar for a couple of months now, but I think I'm really getting good at it. You know what? I haven't shown anybody my guitar skills. I'm gonna cut to a clip of me playing a little bit of guitar now, cause I can. All right, so this amp's really cool because on this amp I can actually change to a whole bunch of presets. So I could go clean and just get a nice clean sound. There's more to it, but I'll leave it there. That's clean. That's the clean sound. Then we get into a bit of crunch, you know, which is very nice. I'm trying to think of something I could play with just a generic crunch sound. Very cool. Very fun, but I'm skipping over, kind of fluffing through the crunch because you can then get onto the lead. And the lead and, you know, the real brown crunch sound, that's where you can get all the really cool. All the cool stuff like that. Oh. Okay, that end was a little bit messy, but you get some really cool. Oh man, it's just fun. I'm not the best player in the world. I'm very much not. Like a lot of my playing's really messy. It's not very clean, but I don't get to show people what I can do very often. I should have said at the beginning that you should just skip over this bit. Sorry, I'm just looking at You kind of missed it. That's still up from the other part of the shoot. It was just Ryuku's boobs just flapping around. Whoa! Amazing! Okay. Cool, that's my amp. Here's my bass guitar. It's got a Marceline sticker on it from Adventure Time. If you know Marceline plays bass from Adventure Time, which is very, very cool. That's just the case for my camera. Get that out of there. This is just my bag. It's just my bag. I've got a bunch of patches on it and whatnot, but it's just my bag. I got 2 ukuleles. I got this one in a soft case and that one in a hard case. Good old big weight. Oh, heavy. It's just 10 kilos. Just drumsticks and other music stuff bag. Piano, lovely piano. Oh, it's so just in focus. Okay, so this piano is, well, my piano, believe it or not. It does piano things. Over here we got Link, the first 4 figures. Link on one side of the piano, and you will get a good look at that right now. Beautiful. On this side of the piano, we have first 4 figures Zelda, who is also very lovely. And right in the middle, we got Majora's Mask. Now, the Majora's Mask can light up. You've probably seen it light up before. If you've seen this before, it's not lit up right now. All right, above, it's nothing important. It's sheet music. You can see some of the old sheet music that I had when I was a young teenager. I labeled everything. Again, I've always been someone who wants to label things. It's just sheet music and music. Over here to the side of it though, a bit more interesting. We got Breath of the Wild strategy guide. And then something to do with Miku. Some comic books, good old comic books. In this bag, single issue comic books. It's the entire run of Civil War 2 from Marvel. And just that. Here's some more other things. Series 5 Animal Crossing amiibo cards. And just a couple of amiibos back there somewhere. It's kind of a mess, so don't worry about that. And then just books up the top. They're money banks that, again, I had as a kid, and they're still there. And it's just books. Sculdari Pleasant is my favorite book series. You may have heard of it. It's great. I think it's awesome. First couple are a little hard to get into, just because they're written for a much younger audience. But, you know, just like Clone Wars, if you've ever seen Clone Wars, the books grew up with its audience. And that's my key light. Sorry to shine that right in your face. I think that's just about everything except the bottom of my desk. Now, the bottom of my desk does not say... Oh, my chair. Let's talk about my chair first. Bam, my chair. It is a nice office plush chair. Very expensive. Not one of those cheap little gamer chairs that you see all the place. Now, this is a plush office chair. There's nothing wrong with gamer chairs. You can have a gamer chair all you want, but gamer chairs are not for me. They are too hard, just not soft, not really that comfortable enough for me. Feels like I'm sitting on a plank of wood. This one's a full plush, soft armrests. Oh, I love it. I can sit on this thing all day. Okay, get out of the way. All right, down we go. I'm just gonna grab my phone. There we go. Okay, let's have a look what's going under here. Now, if you're looking from up here, again, minus these ones, I like how you can pretty much see nothing. When you look at this and there's like nothing underneath it, it's great. Again, minus that one droops because it's connected to that. But let's actually go under and have a look. Okay, this is what's going on underneath my desk. I have 3 power boards. I've got one big one stuck to the bottom here. I've got a smaller one off to the side, and that last one over there. All right, I'm gonna lie on the floor. Ugh. Okay, so what's going on is these 2 power points connect to this big one and that one, and everything connects through all these wires up into that hole is to the main computer. There's a hole right here that goes to the monitors, and this one goes to the record player and those 2 monitors. So that's just that main monitor up there. It's all took a long time, a lot of trial and error, pulling it all out, putting it back in, but it's so much nicer just to have everything underneath the desk where you can't see it or feel it. You know, you don't accidentally kick a cable. Now this, the Elgato capture card, it's the only piece of my PC gear that I didn't mention that I obviously have because I stream and yeah. So right now, this HDMI cable, this black one, is for the Switch. But this grey one that's just hanging goes to the PS4. So whenever I want to play a game, all I gotta do, whether I want to use one of those two, oh, come on, one of those two, I just reach under, quickly swap that over, and then it will appear right up there. That is what the underside of that side looks like. That took the most amount of time and effort, but it's the thing I'm most proud of, because you never see it. And again, so you can see why these two droop. Just because they're a lot longer. And if I'm using the PlayStation controller with the cable in, or the Xbox controller with the cable in, then yeah, I need that length. But everything else is just stuck right up there. Under this one, it's kind of the same thing. You can see there's, again, more cables kind of messed. But that's only because when I pull this out, those cables need to stretch. And then goes back in, and they can bend. So it doesn't bother me as much. Alright, that is, I think, everything. I think that's my whole room. Except for up there. There's not much else up there. But it's just those couple of figures. I haven't quite figured out what I want to put up there yet, besides those figures. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, in terms of improvements, in terms of thing I want to improve with this room. Now, like I said, if I had to say that this room was finished, completely finished, then I'd be happy. I'd be content. I've worked on this room for years. Just moving this chair out of the way. But if there are things that I could improve, number one, the obvious one, is the cable to the microphone. It's annoying having it on the desk. It's too short. I need a longer one. That's the one thing. The second thing is, like, I would like to improve my lighting. Now, you might be interested in knowing that I stream, and I've got a key light over there, but I've got no light, no key light on my desk. Like, I could maybe fit one up here, but I don't have a key light on my desk, and that's because these LEDs that are just above my desk, if I switch it to white, they are bright enough on stream that you can just see my face. So, I don't need that. Instead, what I want to do is work out lighting for this. It could be another LED strip on here, above, shining up. That might look good. Or it might be some other specific lighting for things up there. Again, I really like, God, they are bright. I really like having lighting for this Lego because I really didn't want, you know, I'm not too keen of just displaying Lego just by itself anymore. So that's the main thing, trying to figure out better lighting. And I can't think of anything else right now that I could say that I really, really want to improve. Like, obviously my collection may end up growing, but that's not really improving the room, you know what I mean? I think that's everything. Alright, I guess that's the whole room tour. I guess what we'll do now is let's swap over and let's see some videos and some pictures of what the room used to look like. If you're not interested in seeing that, then I hope that you enjoyed what you saw, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Alright, let's look at some old photos of me. Okay, so this first photo is at the very, very beginning of my room. I mean, just look at it. I have an electronic drum kit where the desk is now. My cupboard is still there. This was when I first got my new Mac. And this is like a really big deal for me. I got my brand new editing thing. At this point, I'd just been editing videos on my laptop. So that was a really, really big step for me. The next image shows you what my very first kind of setup looked like after I got that Mac. Just look at my goddamn hair. Oh, I look older than I do now. Anyway, so all I had was my Mac and I had my keyboard, which you've seen underneath my desk. My keyboard sat above my desk. There was nothing else I put on my desk to take up any space, so it just sat there. And it was really simple and it just worked fine. Very, very empty for the time being. Now the third image. Wow, my hair, this is when I had braces. Okay, this third image, you can kind of see behind me that the desk is getting a little bit more cluttered, but it's not too much of an upgrade from the last one. It's pretty much identical. It's just another picture I found. This next picture, I have no idea how I managed to find this picture, but this is probably the best look you'll ever have at the midpoint of my setup. Like, I don't think I could ever find any other picture that could represent it well enough. So right in the middle, you see my main monitor? That monitor is the one that's underneath my desk at the moment. And off to the side of it is actually just an old TV that I plugged my HDMI cable into. It did act as a second monitor, which was really, really nice. You can see I've got controllers on the desk. It's a lot of clutter. There's nothing on the walls. They're empty. Over there, you can see my Mac is set up to the side, but you may be wondering where my keyboard is. Not my computer keyboard, my actual piano keyboard. It used to sit on that desk, and it was just a massive clutter of space. It was just so full of clutter that I actually ended up getting rid of it for a while because I wasn't making music at the time. Next up, ignore the pink hair. That was fun. Okay, so this is what my room looked like pretty much right before I installed the new desk. You can see I've put the keyboard, the piano keyboard, back to where it was. You can see my main monitor has upgraded to the monitor I have now, and my monitor off to the side, my secondary monitor, was, again, that monitor under my desk, the old primary monitor. I got a couple posters on the wall. The Mickey one's moved, the Mario one is just gone. The PlayStation 4 is sitting back there right next to the record player. And things look like they're just about to fall off the desk. I'm really, really running out of space at the moment. If we continue on, this footage is actually of a room tour and room setup video I was going to make when I got my new desk because it was such a monumental shift. I filmed every part of it. Filmed tearing my entire setup apart. I filmed putting everything back onto it, hooking it all up. I decided I just didn't feel comfortable posting it for whatever reason, so I never did. You can see me rolling out my new mouse pad, which looks very good. A whole bunch of different stuff. It was such a monumentous occasion. Right now, at the time of recording, this setup was about a whole year ago. And all these little minuscule details and changes have led up to how my setup is now today. And that's everything. I really hope you enjoyed this. I certainly had a lot of fun making it. It was a real challenge with the new program. The main reason I'm doing a new program is because I edit for larger YouTube channels and I really want to diversify my ability, but it's really tough to relearn everything. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you have ideas for what I could do, such as the lighting, I would really love to hear it because I'm kind of stumped right now. I'm not quite sure what I want. So please, I would love to hear it. All right, have a wonderful day and I'll see you on the next Noodle.